Hey guys, welcome to Let's Play Chrono Cross. Last time, we entered the Isle of the Damned after obtaining the Garai keepsake. And we've made our way all the way to the end. This time, I've taken Sprig out of the party and put Radius back in. I do remember that we got access to White Knight as a doppelganger last time. But first, let's go and do some story. My name is on the tombstone. That's not ominous at all. What day? So when you spoke of the Masamune, you spoke from experience. Yeah. What the bloody hell did you do that for? Well, I guess. Insanity indeed. What do you mean, what happened? The overdramatic no wasn't really necessary, but I get your idea. I lost my sanity because of that sword. Apparently, it takes control of you and you literally go mad. Not sure how he managed to throw the sword down, or if the sword was just content with what it did and decided, okay, I can be put down now. I don't know if the sword is supposed to be sentient or not. The sword was not entirely to blame. I was jealous, wanted to be the better swordsman. So maybe it's not pure mind control. Maybe it only reacts to the dark intentions of the people that possess it. If that's the case, then my theory about Dalton corrupting it might prove to be true. The holy sword that conquered darkness. See, in the original, in Chrono Trigger, it was not necessarily a holy sword, but it was one that could slay Magus. Now merely a tool for murder. Should you feel remorse for what you've done, then may you fall by my sword. We need the Einlanzer to seal the cursed sword. Express your intent to the Einlanzer as a true swordsman would. You must defeat me to proceed. In order to believe in what is right, must one suffer pain and sorrow. Show me the pride and honor of the Acacia Dragoons. Now, the interesting thing is, you saw in that cutscene, they both had portraits, both Radius and Garai, but in that flashback they did not. I don't know if this was a stylistic choice or what it was. But anyway, here's a white innate, let's beat it up by attacking it with a black innate. That makes sense. He's not hard. We got this. Go throw a glide hook against him. Look at that damage. That's nuts. Let's just keep going. I don't think this fight is going to be all that much challenge at all. That's some decent damage you got there. Let's throw a Thunderstorm at him. We didn't really get to see a lot of these elements that we've been trapping, so let's show a couple of them off. Radius, you no longer wield the sword, so let's, I guess, use your staff. He gets a couple attacks in. That's fine. Oh, do we have anything good to use on you? No, not really. Long shot. Well, this doesn't seem to be all that much of a challenge at all. Well, now he gets 3 attacks off. A little more powerful than before. We'll black hole him. Seems easy enough. Maybe we'll get lucky and instant death will work. I don't think it works on any bosses in the game, actually. Look at that. Alright, let's keep going. Will Breaker. Ouch! Well, that didn't feel good at all. And I'm out of stamina. Let's just defend out that stamina there. Now, the first time I played this game, this was one of the most difficult boss fights I had seen. Now, I may have still been using Harley at this point, and if I was, then that would probably explain why I had such trouble with this fight. I probably also wasn't smart enough to clue into getting all of these more powerful elements, so I wouldn't have had Holy Lights, I wouldn't have had Free Falls, I wouldn't have had, other than the ones you find, I would have had Infernos, because we can find those as a drop, no Carnivore, no Deluge. I may not have even gone back to get access to a lot of the level 4 elements. I probably did, because it was a store on the way. But yeah, I probably would have done stupid things like use Recover All to heal, and then bring 2 black innates into this fight against Garai, who's a white innate. And then heal in a dumb way and let him do things like this against the black innate, which usually ended up in me getting my ass kicked. Now, it's not as difficult a fight now as it was when I was younger, but it's still a difficult fight if you're kind of not prepared at all. See, I've got some decent elements to use against him. But as you can tell from the lack of strategy I put into the battle, it's doable as long as you are kind of smart enough and you use the combat system well enough. And you always get a Dragoon's Honor, which is good because that's a good item. And we get the Einlanzer. Always been prepared to fall to a sword held by one of your sons. Perhaps Glenn will take on that role now that Dark is gone. Must attend some unfinished business. Now, that's obviously not the most useful way of dealing with that fight. That's just kind of the bare bones, you go into the fight not knowing anything. And it's still beatable. It's probably one of the 3 hardest fights in the game, to be honest. And as you can see by kind of the way that I went about it, you know, when I came here the first time, I wouldn't have had Black Hole. I probably would have had maybe 1 Free Fall, because I think you can steal one. I might have stolen it. I think you might find one in a treasure chest or something. I wouldn't have had a lot to work with. but fighting him can be really powerful. He can be really powerful against you. He can do a lot of damage with his 2 techs there. His strategy is pretty basic. It's attack, triple cut, attack twice, and then will break. And all of his techs do a lot of damage. But what happens if you want to absolutely nuke this fight? I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. And if you decide not to bring Radius here, the fight plays out, or well, the cutscene plays out the same. He just shows up and everything plays out the exact same as it did before. But you don't have to bring him to the fight. And if you decide not to bring him to the fight, well, things can play out a lot differently. In the previous episode, we got access to White Knight for Sprig. One of the best ways of demonstrating how abusive this is by demonstrating that in this particular fight. So what we're going to do is we're going to doppelgang into our new best friend and probably the most powerful doppelgang in the game, potentially. If it's not the best, it's like in the top 3. It's got insane stats. Look at the element grid. The only good elements it has are right at the end, but the elements it does have are phenomenal. So what we're going to do here is, first things first, before you hopefully don't kill anybody, we are going to set up Diminish. And now that we've got Diminish set up, we're going to set up Strengthen on White Knight. And let's see what we can do with White Knight here. Yeah, just a casual 351 damage per attack. Nothing, too outstanding. Now, the downside is, well, the Doppelgang uses Sprig's HP. And, well, Sprig has trash per HP. So, we're going to have to keep you all healed up here with a Cure Plus. Otherwise, you will succumb very easily. And I wanted to double check things, and I equipped the gold earring on Sprig, which is supposed to increase the maximum amount of HP you have in battle. It doesn't work because I had 215 HP before battle, and I have 215 HP now. So that sucks, but anyway, let's get a couple more shots in here, and let's do low res on the boss there. Get another attack in here. Doesn't seem to have helped all that much. Low res seems to help some of the time, but not others. It's kind of weird that way. Now, let's take a look at what we got here. A lot of your earlier elements are just crap instant death spells that I don't really care about. But at the very end, we've got defense I don't care about. We have a lot of nice elements. Now, White Knight is black innate, even though it's called White Knight, and it has access to Physical Negate, which is a yellow-only ability. It's also got techs that are red-only and yellow-only. These techs are fantastic. Rage increases your physical attack power for all party members. I do not think it stacks with Strengthen. Sadness Wave decreases physical attacks on all enemies. Spirits Up increases physical defense on all allies. And Wave of Fear decreases physical defense on all allies. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up absolute protection here for White Knight so that I don't get knocked off while I'm trying to buff things up here. We'll set that up, and let's try and get some stamina back for you here. And at the same time, we'll cast Imbecile on you to reduce the amount of damage you can deal, additionally to all of the debuffs I've already cast against you with Diminish and all that. Did I cast Diminish? I think I cast Diminish. Here's Willbreaker. Hopefully diminished is in play. I think it's in play. Yeah, it was in play. I'm still dead, but I'm not as worried about that because the bulk of this fight is just to demonstrate how good White Knight is. I can't even get Lynx to do the kind of damage that White Knight is able to do right now. We'll get a couple shots in here. And let's do a heal all here. I was trying to get a lot of the white off the field, but it doesn't help when you keep doing that, because the more white on the field, the less damage I will do physically. Yeah, so we've dropped a little bit in damage there. Either that or strength is worn off. So let's get another hit in here. Would you stop in? Oh, you're dead already. Well, okay, that's fine too. Basically, yeah, the amount of damage you can get out of White Knight in this fight is phenomenal, and it's really worth checking it out. And we get some nice stat ups here. Woo! Strength for everybody. And Dragoon's Honor, as always. So yeah, you don't need to bring Radius with you if you don't want to. He shows up anyway to do the story stuff, and, well, it's fun to bring White Knight and abuse the crap out of things. You can use White Knight and Lagoonate and Terminator and I guess Yellow Belly as well. They're all really powerful at this point, and they do more damage than most of our normal characters will do. So if you want to use Sprig, Sprig is really, really good. I said earlier that Sprig wasn't very good. Her stats aren't very good. What she's able to do is phenomenal. Anyway, with that being said, let's backtrack the hell on out of here, and then we can move on. Okay, made it back, and as you might be able to tell, I have switched up my party a little bit. I'll go in and talk about it a little bit in a moment, but we got the Einlanzer. Now, the Einlanzer is a key item. It is not a weapon that anyone that we have can equip. Do I have a sword wielder right now? I don't even have anyone who can use a sword. Zap is an axe wielder. Yeah, there's nobody that I have that can actually use an Einlanzer. So, even if we could equip it, which we can't, well, yeah, we have no one who can do it. So let's go back to Death's Door and use it for its intended purpose. Use the holy powers of the Einlanzer. Sword is a reflection of one's soul. You pity me? I just hope one day that sword will be freed from enmity. Well, it seems to have worked. Now, over the course of this game, we've had an interesting ride of things. We started off with no real idea of what was going on. We got spirited away to a whole parallel universe. We were directed to go to Viper Manor for reasons we weren't particularly interested. We kind of just wanted to be left alone and find our way back to our own reality. But as you can see over the course of the game, we've gone from kind of one immediate quest to another. And when you sit around and do nothing, Starkey balances on the fishbowl that is his head. Which is adorable, but yeah. So yeah, we haven't really had like a quest to save the world or anything. And Surge doesn't have a lot of agency as a character, which of course comes from being a silent protagonist. But in addition to that, we just haven't had a lot of reason to do all that much other than quickly go to do whatever was next in line that our previous quest led us to discover. You know, it's like we went into Viper Manor. Oh, now we got to save Kid. Oh, now, you know, we learned about this dragon tier, and that might be able to get us back, so we need to head to Fort Dragonia. And, oh, now we lost our body. Now we got to find a way to get our body back, so we got to head to the Dead Sea. Everything has been kind of spur of the moment up until now. This is where the game starts to get good. This is the Dead Sea. We heard a while ago from the Sage of Marbule in another world. Time stops here, or time goes backward, one of the two. The theme you're hearing is the theme of the Dead Sea. I think it's specifically called Dead Sea. It's like I'm living a nightmare. The waves are at a standstill. Dark shadow in the distance. Speaking of dragon gods, if you look at that shadow, it almost looks like a dragon if you see the things that stick out on either side of the top as wings. Now, I can't remember if I brought this up until this point or not, but because of the autofill nature and the automated nature of the accents in this game, and the fact that no matter who's with you, one of your characters is going to say generally the same thing, it leads to a lot of situations where you have characters that say things that they really should know nothing about. Starkey didn't even know thanks a few episodes back, and here he is explaining different aspects of the world. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Generally, I try to bring characters that have a lot more relation to the plot than Starkey, but I'm bringing him strictly for one thing only, and you'll probably see that today. This is the Dead Sea. As you can see, there are treasure chests, monsters, and save points floating around everywhere. I'm going to hold off on the treasure chest for now. This is going to be a quick dip. If you open the menu, we are currently level 24. Something unique happens at level 25 for a number of characters. I'm going to take that opportunity this way. I don't really want to fight you, actually. I'm trying to go around you. We will fight these guys later. I have better things to do right now. I just need to get around him, and he's kind of in the way. I also don't know what the hell he is. Hey, look, it's a big giant robot. Okay, last minute preparations. Let's approach this thing. It's so random that it's here, it doesn't even warrant boss music. This is Highwayman, and it is a mech of some sort. It's also black innate. Our most powerful white innate character is currently Starkey. So let's take Starkey out for a spin. Now, Starkey's stats are not great this time around. He's got 20 less strength than Lynx does. With the same equipment and the Dragoon Gauntlet, and with the plasma pistol, he has 10 less attack. 10 less. That weapon is fan-freaking-tastic. Alright, we're gonna get one more hit in here. Gotta bad roll there. And we're going to strengthen Starkey. Starkey's going to do the heavy lifting here. There's nothing to steal from this guy because we have no one who can steal. So we just need to beat it up fast. Let's do that. Starkey does not do the best amount of damage right now. Let's build up a little bit and get that black off the field there. His attack pattern is to attack twice and then use an attack I don't want him to use, but he's going to use it anyway. So first things first, we're going to weak mind him so we can reduce his magical defense. And we'll hit one more time here. I don't need to really heal all that much, but we'll do it anyway to get another white on the field. And then we're going to let Starkey loose with Ultra Nova. Now, I could have also set up Magnify ahead of time. Doesn't really matter. I would recommend setting up Diminish at some point in this fight, which is kind of why I'm not doing it. But yeah, Ultra Nova, huge damage on this guy. Alright, we're going to just defend and get a little bit of a stamina refresh. Exhaust Gas is one of the more annoying attacks you can deal with in this fight because it inflicts darkness, as you can see by the amount of accuracy I now have. We got one attack out of you, which fucking missed. You gotta be kidding me, game. Come on. He didn't... Oh, he does have it on. Why does he have it on? He doesn't have a black status effect on. That is stupid. I don't know why that's the case. That's really, really weird. Anyway, I wanted to go over and get Purify going, and specifically put it on Starkey. I don't know why he had such low accuracy for a second. Anyway, the point is, Purify Starkey, Rampage is his other attack, which I kind of wanted to get Diminish off ahead of time because it does absolute ass tons of damage. And now I have to try and build up stamina with a character who has less than 50% chance of hitting anything. Well, at least I got it. Starkey has my revive. Well, that's unfortunate. This entire fight just went off the rails. You know what? Scrub it. We're going to try this again. Now, here's the thing. Like, you can plan out your strategies really effectively in this game, but it doesn't change the fact that if one thing goes wrong, your entire strategy can be out the window in a second, and you're going to have to basically start from scratch. Purifies are pretty much a must. I probably should have put Diminish up first. I was trying to, but unfortunately, it didn't work out. So let's try this again, this time without getting screwed over here. We're going to Eagle Eye and Strengthen. We're on fast forward, so we're not sitting there in the same... Please hit something. You'll notice that I've gotten some additional Eagle Eyes in there so that I can make sure to be able to buff him back up. I don't know what happens if you use Eagle Eye after you're in darkness. I'm not sure if it overwhelms it or not, but we will find out. Alright, so there's that. Let's get a couple more whites on the field here. Specifically weak-minded, just like before. And this time we're definitely going to need that Recover All. And and we'll do a Earth Ultra Nova here, and then I'm going to have to get Radius working on Diminish ASAP. His attack pattern should be the same each time. Get that in. Defend. Get one more attack gets me there. Alright, a couple more attacks here. He's got that off, but I can still get off a second Ultra Nova here. Now, if you don't have Ultra Nova, you can use Holy Light, you can use Meteor Shower, you can use Photon Beam. But basically, the point of my strategy for this fight is to use Starkey to do as much damage as you can with a couple of attacks, then set up Diminish to reduce the amount of damage that he can do. And that's basically the fight. As you can see, he's already sagging, and I can't hit anything. And Rampage does substantially less damage against a Black Innate character under Diminish as opposed to what it was before. Sadly, Starkey should have some... Oh, I guess he doesn't have anything left. Okay, we got some hits in here. I guess you're not suffering from the same thing, so let's get Purify out on Starkey. A few more attacks there, and he falls down. Oh, there you go. Fights, as you can see, I didn't show it, but there was a botched take on the Garai fight, where I went in and he just kept spamming on White Knight, and he died 3 times before I just ran away from the battle and said the hell with it, and we'll start over from scratch. I didn't include any of that footage in this video, but here I think it makes sense to just kind of reiterate. Just because I come up with or steal strategies from other people as far as how this makes sense, to build up these strategies and take out these bosses relatively easily, doesn't mean it's going to go your way every single time. And I went and I did my mini stat-ups off screen. Yeah, I only got HP for you, and I only got resistance and HP for you, and at least somebody got strength out of the whole ordeal. But more importantly, this gives us access to our 25th star level, which means we're in, and now we're out. As cool as this place is, get out of my way, please. Thank you. As cool as this place is, and as much as I want to explore this place, there's something that we can do now that's going to make our life a lot easier in the long run. So I'm going to back on out of here. Hit my boat, and, well, there's a lot of cool stuff that we can do. But that's going to have to wait till next time, because that's pretty much all the time we have for today. What I'm going to do next time is, well, you take a look at my element slots. For some characters, they're what you would expect. Other characters, at level 25, gain access to a level 7 element slot. At level 7, we can start trapping summons. That's all for this one. And I'll see you guys next time.